And just like that, I've been teleported back to this magnificent place, Caliber Disc Golf Course, just outside of Sandy Point, I believe, Idaho. Here, tucked in the mountains, lies the #1 course in Idaho, #5 course in the world, according to UDisc. We're on the back 9. It's a good hike out here. As you can tell, I'm sweating. Mosquitoes are out, kind of helping me through the course, you know, making me feel lighter, sucking some of my blood out, getting the bad blood out, you know, all that stuff. So far, really been loving this course. We're on the tee of hole 10, par 3, up the hill, past the boulder, and to the left. 282, but plays generously up. Gonna play quite a bit longer. I'm gonna take my PD. We are at 2,000 feet plus altitude, important to note. I'm looking to play a high, wide hyzer just right of that little double tree. I ain't talking about the hotel. Discount DoubleTree? Oh yeah. Exactly how I wanted it to fly. We got a putt. Let's go score our first birdie of the back 9. In case y'all forgot, I don't know if I already said my name or not. I'm Connor O'Reilly. Play for Team Cardinal Disc Golf. You can get these shirts at otbdiscs.com. And the chalk bag that I'll be using all season and beyond is the loot bags. You can support me through all those websites, or if you appreciate the coverage I bring and you want to pay for a tank of gas or a cup of coffee, tell me to review some spot you like, you know, you can always drop a super chat, let me know. I'd love to add it to the list. Appreciate all you guys who watch. You are the best. You make making the content grind all worth it. It was actually the triple tree. I was illused. As y'all can probably hear by my huffing and puffing, this course is a good hike, especially when you're booking it through a solo round to get away from the mosquitoes and finish up in time. Thankfully, this course has circle 1 whiskers on every green. And so I know that with this lie, if I don't mark it, I can jump, which I'm going to take advantage of on this uphill putt. Thought we had our first bird of the back 9, you guys. This is a good bid. Can live with it. Can't live with these skeeters though. Blue Mountain-esque. And if you ask Connor, what's Blue Mountain-esque? If you know, you know. Blue Mountain, of course, in Missoula, Montana. Not too far from here geographically, and pretty similar type of flora and fauna-ish. A little bit more green here. But yeah, they also have mosquitoes that'll carry you away. And this course is about to carry us away. This is a beautiful hole. Hole 11 here. UDisc says par 5. Not sure exactly where. Hopefully it's down this hill like I think it is, because that's how I'm going to play it. Gonna go explore, hyzer, flip. Looking for some late drift right. I'm even aiming for left of this birch cluster in the middle. Looking to get that late flip right just past them. Or just flip in front of them. Carry a little bit too far to the right, but with that downhill, I might come back into the fairway. We'll see. That could be really good, actually. I'm literally out here running from the mosquitoes, y'all. They're so bad. They're gonna give me a good workout. That's what I needed to break up my drive as I head from Portland to Minneapolis to get ready for the preserve. Woo! Drove for about 6 to 8 hours earlier. About 8 hours of drive. Car time. 6.5 hours of driving to get here. And yeah, so the body is happy to be moving right now. Get out and move if you're able-bodied and healthy. You're blessed, so take advantage of it. Okay, I landed on this pile of logs. Fairway's over there, so I had kind of the right idea. A little bit aggressive now that I see the hole. Oh my god. Mosquitoes are so bad, y'all. Don't have much from where I'm at. I'm just gonna try to pitch it up to that next corner with a faith. I almost executed a really good drive though. I feel like if you throw what I was kind of mind's eyeing. All right, another tricky scramble. I'm gonna go with the beat up faith. Oh no, not turning enough. Dang it, y'all. Bit off more than I could chew here. And I got a big mouth. Now looking back, you can definitely play to this big fat landing zone with like a mid-range off the tee. And then chip to here. But I feel like if I throw my shot perfectly how I wanted, and I drifted on this side of those trees, I could have maybe got myself down here and thrown a legendary shot. It was worth the risk of trying. That boulder over there says only 183, so we ain't too far, but we're pretty pinched. I'm gonna go hatchet forehand roller and try to get as left as I can. I'm not really sure where this one is, but I can't see it. Flip. Okay, backside of the fairway. The 188 boulder. We like a good boulder. Yeah, this one's definitely eagleable if you throw the perfect drive, but if not, it's so pinched off. Unless you throw a spike hyzer on the second shot and somehow figure out the angles on that. This one's just one to go for birdie on. Downslope behind the basket, it appears. So I'm gonna play this touchy faith up shot. Oh, that's so money. The touch there, wait till you see it, it's probably touching the pole. Touch, touch, touch. I mean, okay, it ain't touching the pole, but just look at it, you guys. I've kind of forgotten my score now. I'm either 3 down or 2 down, I think. But the mosquitoes have me frazzled, so I can't think too straight at this point. Hole 12, what a magnificent par 3. Dead straight ahead. 368 feet down the hill. Kind of a little bit of a low ceiling. Wanted to go Luna, I think ceiling's too low for a fan grip, so I'm gonna go to the MV, which I can just jam on a little bit of Annie MV through this gap. Try to hit the hill up on the top side of the basket and kind of counter slide back down. Pretty much just as prescribed, but a little bit short. So we're gonna have a tricky putt left. I mean, for it to be a death putt, don't you have to be afraid of it? See ya. Good thing that tree saved me, y'all. Kobe. Purple and gold. That's for you, Kobe. Hole 13, 329. I got number dyslexia today. Playing down across the pond. Got to get through the gap. Keep flying straight. I'm gonna jam it into the hill. I mean, into the basket with the MV. Drop. Fade. Oh my gosh, you guys, that was so close to being an ace. Hit the ground pretty hard behind the basket and ran off to the right, but we'll have a shot. I mean, don't tempt me with a good time. Okay, I think my first shot jammed into the tree, or maybe one of these other trees beyond. Slid over here. Then my Instagram shot. Faith all day, y'all. OTBDiscs.com. They got a couple left, and I'm gonna buy them all. Y'all pause it, read up on your Idaho white pine. Okay, best T sign yet on 14. Those structures, I'm guessing, are the houses right there. Super cute. It's the little touches, and they're hitting them, y'all. They're hitting them. Give me some Pro Tour tee pads out here. And this course is pretty much there, you know. You can maybe make a couple more par 4s. But at the same point, it kind of has a good variety as is. Par 5. 843 feet across the pond that we just played over off the last one. Bends to the right after this landing zone. I'm going to take my flippy rive on a ton of hyzer. Try to get to come out late and move to the right. I wanted to do that with the Explorer, but I feel better with a longer disc going across this pond. I'm going like knife hyzer through this gap. Knife hyzer through the gap. Oh, got to the other side, but hit that tree over there. Knocked me down. We'll have a scramble. Another look at the T sign from the short pad. And then you got those telephone wires on these last two holes. They really, I feel like they come into play. Let me know if you've played here and you've ever hit them or seen them be hit. Because they feel like they're kind of, these ones are maybe a little higher than you want to be flying. But the ones on the last hole, pretty close to the line. Little wetland bridge. Fun and bouncy for a large fellow like myself. Wow, what an awesome hole. This one is like borderline dream hole, to tell you the truth. I'm not too far in the bounds of play over here to the right out of your frame. Probably I'm just going to chip a forehand up, try to advance from there. That'll do. Looks like we got about 330 from that tree. You gotta love the tree markers telling you how far it is. They really do all the little things out here. And it makes the experience that much more enjoyable. Teeing from up there across the pond. Over to this side. You kind of have this high flat landing zone road over there almost. For the intended zone down here in the mow lines. As you can tell, just bring your eyes to where you're supposed to be, and they look great. 338 from this tree to the basket, tucked up around the corner to the left. I'm just gonna guesstimate since I can't see it and try to, if anything, end up too far left. Then a Captain's Raptor hyzer it in. Little late release with that uphill run up, but it looks like we have an opportunity to save a birdie possibly with a long putt. If you've played the Motherlode course out here, the other course that they just came up with this year, let me know what your thoughts are on it. I really like the character of this course. I think you can make it either flip the par around a little bit on certain holes, maybe make this one like a hard par 4 possibly. If you were to have like a DGPT field here. But even then, so far it's a decent challenge, and you gotta earn your birdies. Here's one of our buildings as depicted with the blue elderberry. Big old elderberry. Very medicinal plant. We got another uphill jumper. Deja vu. Let's make it deja blue with the blue birdie on the scorecard. Longer than it looked, y'all. You know, the more I see this one, I think maybe you could just continue to have some more out of bounds on this right side as you approach, keep you away from the house and stuff, and maybe that would just make it a good par 5 with some risk reward. Eagle for the great shots, birdie for the good, par for the okay. Hole 15 might read 290 feet as a par 3, but it's gonna play probably more like the 350 foot power mark with that uphill nature. It's got a pretty narrow gap, but sizable and repeatable enough for the distance. I think this is a very tasteful par 3. Visible, aceable, challenging, repeatable for the top 10% of shots, punishing for the rest. I'm gonna go Athena, try to make up for that uphill distance. Give it a little chain run. Push. Ooh. If I had a flatter release, that thing had all the juice on it. Got a good tree rebound kept us in close. We got a birdie look. Little things like the visuals of the boulders also go a long way to make this now one of the more beautiful and memorable greens on the course. Out of breath. Uphill putt. Good practice. Squeezed it in by the lack of hair on my chinny chin. With the uphill nature of this one, it would be really cool to take some of the rocks around here and make like a little small castle wall. Not too tall. Don't block the ace, obviously, but it would create a super cool visual up the hill. Could make a little signature hole. And if you do, I want to see the Caliber Castle by Connor. A plaque. I'll pay for it. I'll come out here and do some course maintenance or something. 16, straight ahead, 422 feet, disappearing down the hill. Appears pretty straight off the tee sign, and so far they've been pretty good depictions of the land, I feel like. So I'm trusting them. I'm gonna go with the MD3, use the mid-range to avoid the fade as I go down the hill. Should start fading slightly now, but it looks like I caught up to the canopy down there, and we made some progress, kept it in line. I'm not gonna lie to you, all these tiny tees are kind of getting to me. I just can barely get my 3 steps on them, so it's kind of tripping me out. As depicted, straight ahead and even more downhill than you'd imagine, as are a lot of these holes. These are some real slopes of a caliber you wouldn't imagine till you come play this beautiful top 5 in the world course. I'm liking it so far. I think it's definitely in my top 12 to 15 courses I've played so far. And I think this property has all it needs to be in that conversation for best courses in the world. Really solid. I feel like with just a little more distance and some bigger tee pads, I would probably bump it up into my top 10 possibly. You know what I'm saying? It's good. It's good, y'all. A little note for all of you guys who have any say in your local course, or maybe help out, whether it's with the design or with the upkeep. Doing little things like letting me know that these are these great plants, what trees are what, and giving those wildlife plaques to give you information, I feel like makes there be less chance that someone's just going to trample your beautiful terrain as they go get their disc out of the bushes or whatever. You know, they might avoid stepping on that grape. They might avoid stepping on that little flower because they just learned about it. So not only is it fun, but it's useful for the upkeep of the land and the beautification of it. Double-edged sword. Oh, off the pole. Another good feeling putt from C2 that just hasn't found the mark. Welcome to my life, apparently. I mean, this one having the outrageously tall flagpole, very nice. So you can see that thing. I probably could have seen it from there if I'd known it was there. And next time, now I know. Another ring when clear. Anytime you have a blind hole, bells are a great idea. Okay, never mind. These ones that I thought were maybe the grapes are the thimbleberry. I thought it was like a raspberry looking thing, so that makes sense. Thimbleberry, up to 8-foot deciduous thornless shrub that grows in dense clumps due to an underground network of rhizomes. New shoots come up the 7th year and bear fruit the first year, and bear fruit their 2nd to 3rd years. Stems have large palamity lobed leaves, like a palm, I guess. Flowers with white petals, reddish thimble-like berries that are flattish and often fall apart when picked. 2 holes to play on this glorious day at this beautiful course. Up the hill, you're going to play on 17 to Grandma's house. Around the corner to the left. Pump a fairway driver straight off this first shot. Play it from there. I'm going to go Athena. Really have this one tree on the right side to try to sneak it past. Yep. Flew that one pretty much like I wanted to, and should have something from there. The course also has a lot of these little beginner's tees. So they have the amateur tee, the pro tee, and a beginner tee. So important, especially when there's not a lot of other course competition around you for the growth of this game, to make sure you have suitable tracks for multiple skill levels if there's not a ton of courses in your area. As you can tell, I'm well out of breath, as I have been this entire course. And I'm 120 feet away, at least when I'm at this tree, and I'm 80 feet behind. 200 feet in, there's the basket. Nice high turning forehand will get me there. I'm thinking justice will do the trick. Not gonna do the trick. Hit the branch, y'all. Ugh. These hills will get you. Come play with the group out here. Spend a weekend. It's beautiful. We got a throw-in chance. Still birdie on the board. No. Little flat on that one. Caught metal off that Code Connor kick though. Arm's getting a little tired, not gonna lie to y'all. I think these tees are a little short, so they're forcing me to kind of not trust my feet. Solid short par 4. That plays well. All right, we have arrived to the tee of 18. Nothing comes super easy, not really any gimme holes on this track. Good variety of distance, par, shot shaping. Hole 18 is a par 4 to finish us off. I love to have a par 4 finishing us off. You guys know that. 659 feet. I'm going to play the flex shot through this right side gap. Looks like you can kind of take either gap down past this V tree in the middle, but the right side has less trees, it appears. So I'm going to play flex with the PD. See what we can get. I was a little low. The turn was solid, but caught a tree just past the V. It's gonna be a tough birdie, I'm guessing, but par should be simple. Oh my God, 20 mosquitoes right here. Yeah, definitely bring your bug spray out here. Hopefully something natural, but you might need the DEET if you don't want to get bit. And even then, I don't know if it's really gonna work. Because they are heavy in these mountains. They are. My shot was working on finding out of the flex, and it probably wasn't gonna end up in a good spot. But I caught this tree. Not very easy from here, appears. Okay, it appears to be about 340 feet away, downhill, and then slightly back to the right. You really got to throw a perfect tee shot here to have a chance at birdie, it seems like. I'm going to try to get a little lucky with this Pioneer Flex forehand. See if we can get close. Ah, well, that was the one tree I really needed to beat, and I caught it, of course. So yeah, maybe the play might be just to play something short into this zone. Give yourself a shot down. Because that's the most repeatable way to play this one, I think. I think if you try to pure this tee shot and get into this zone here, it's going to be a lot harder of a tee shot. And maybe lead to making the hole tougher than it should be. I fell for the bait. That means it's good course design. Very slopey, downhill approach with out of bounds long here for 18. I'm going to try to give it a little cheeky bid with the flippy faith. Oh my God, the mosquitoes are crazy. No time to wait. Oh no, sit down. Okay, a little deep, but nothing too crazy. Oh my God, y'all. These skeeters are killing me. One last par save on a day that feels like it's full of them. But when you're learning a new course, you got to figure out where the birdies come from, and sometimes it takes more than a first time glance to figure a hole out. And that's why you practice. Woo, snuck it in. Finished with the par. That's it for the number 5 course in the world. Thanks you guys for watching. I'm Connor O'Reilly. It's been a blast out here. Highly recommend you guys come check it out. Like I said, only 50 minutes or 50 miles from the Canadian border for those of you Canadians who want to come check it out and you live on the west side of Canada. Or if you just want to make the pilgrimage to the northeast and play some beautiful courses, Idaho could be a cheaper spot to come visit compared to some of the spots on the west coast, and caliber will not disappoint. Oh my gosh, you guys, they got flightless ducks in the garden. As if it got any better. They're out there taking out the insects and stuff, the slugs and whatnot from eating the plants. You gotta love a symbiotic relationship. These mosquitoes and me are apparently, they're trying to be one with me, but I don't think it's symbiotic, it's parasitic. They can leave me alone.